he needs the expertise to say, Mr. President, that's why this is not a good idea.
Do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
We'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days. Ding, ding, ding. Really, yeah.
The administration really willing to risk the NATO alliance by potentially moving ahead with military operations?
What I think the White House said yesterday is what I will tell you now, and I've always said. The president always retained the option. I'm not talking about Greenland. I'm just talking about globally.
Why does the president feel he needs to own Greenland and not and put out the threat of military action when this could be done through diplomacy?
Who said diplomacy isn't taking place behind the scenes, Dasha?
Why not rule out taking it by military force?
All options are always on the table for President Trump.
Obviously, Greenland should be part of the United States. Right, does Denmark assert control over Greenland? What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark?
And I'm sick of stupid. You want to get me back to thanking the president for all the good things he's doing? Then give him good advice. You don't speak on behalf of
The president's first option always has been diplomacy. Look at Venezuela. He told him, I will use the United States military and you will not like it if you don't take such a deal. Look at what happened.
No money for the insurance companies.
But will you take military intervention off the table?
I'm not here to talk about Denmark or military intervention. I'll be meeting with them next week. We'll have those conversations with them then.
We need Greenland. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. Constitution of the United States.
You can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else. In a world that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world that have existed since the beginning of time.
Mr. Miller or somebody else said, hey, this will be cool. Let's take over Greenland. It'll be like a big aircraft carrier. The president came up with the idea that maybe we should have Greenland as a part of our assets. And somebody said that's a great idea. That's stupid too.
To invade Greenland and attack its sovereignty, fellow NATO country, would be weapons-grade stupid. President Trump is not weapons-grade stupid.
Greenland's our ally. Denmark's our ally. There's no reason for these threats and insinuations that everything's on the table to the military. It's just wrong. I feel like we've got high school kids playing Risk.
And then if you want, we'll take some. We don't want them in our country. Early today.
Because of the oil blockade, the quarantine of oil.
Because of our quarantine and because it's sanctioned.
Does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Can you clarify your comments to lawmakers this week?
Well, that's always been the president's intent from the very beginning. He said it very early on.
Will the president commit that if any NATO members are attacked, the United States will come to it?
The president addressed this directly himself this morning after seeing the coverage from all of you in this room. We're always going to be there for NATO, even if they have not done right by the United States of America.
On a per capita basis, Denmark suffered over 6 times the fatality rate of Germany and more than 3 times the fatality rate of France. For a small democracy, sustaining this level of risk over more than a decade reflects a serious commitment to NATO and a serious commitment to the safety and security of the United States. What makes me cranky is when we tarnish the extraordinary execution of a mission I fully support in Venezuela by turning around and making insane comments about how it is our right to have territory owned by the Kingdom of Denmark. Folks, amateur hour is over.
If they do non
find ways to bring peace and stability across the globe, and you've seen it, it's Donald Trump. And if that means Greenland, it's Greenland. What the hell? You don't have that many people in Greenland anyway.
They're not going to take it off the table for any circumstance whatsoever, anytime, anywhere, anyplace.
So not even with a territory owned by a NATO ally?
No matter what.
Would you support military action to take over Greenland?
This president makes decisions that are in the best interest of the country, and I appreciate that, and I trust him.
I don't think there's any question about what's going on with Russia and China using the Arctic Pass. It's a concern for the president.
The White House said they're keeping military options there open.
The U.S. always has military options for everything. I think it's a general statement.
What specifically would the U.S. gain by taking control of Greenland?
More control over the Arctic region and ensuring that China and Russia and our adversaries cannot continue their aggression in this very important and strategic region.
I know Donald Trump is a businessman, but Greenland is not a product.
This is completely appalling to me, if you ask me. I think it's a completely wrong way to collaborate with other partners, so it's very disrespectful towards the Greenlandic people.
It's not likely that this would escalate to a point where many lives are lost. But the danger is to the erosion of the rule of law globally and to the perception that there are any norms protecting anybody on the planet.